So this is going to be sort of lesson 1 in learning to code. So to get started, it's really simple. You type editor.p5js.org into a Google web browser, press return, and you get this page. And this is where you do your coding. It's that simple. So you go to Google Chrome, or you can use other browsers, but this is one of the better ones to use. It genuinely works. So to get started, so here's some code here. So I'm just going to increase the text size. So this button here, over here in the top right hand corner, is sort of for settings. So I'm going to increase the text size to 22 so that you can see it really easily. You can also have different themes, dark or high contrast, but I'll keep it light for now. Okay, so you can play around with those and just see what happens with those. So the first thing I'm going to do, believe it or not, is delete the code there. So first off, we're just going to do something really basic. So the first line is function setup. So what this is going to do is, like a block of code, is going to go inside these curly brackets, or braces as they're called. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, create the canvas you're going to do your coding onto. So basically, this is a way of painting, if you like, or drawing onto a canvas, like a piece of paper. And first of all, we need to actually give it a size. So we have to do that. Say create canvas, and we need to give it a size. Now, do you notice that the canvas, C for canvas, is in capitals? It has to be, it's case sensitive, so it has to be that, exactly that. If you put a lowercase, it won't work, it won't recognize it. So it knows it's going to draw a canvas. Now you're going to tell it what size you want. So first off, we're going to give it a size of 800 by 800. Now, a piece of paper has a color. Yes, normally paper is white. So, but it can be any color. So we're going to just press return, going to give it a background color. And you can give it any color you like, as you'll see later. So in this case, I'm just going to give it a value of 220. Okay, so I'll explain more in a minute why that's important. So up here we've got two buttons. This is a stop button, so it stops it running. And this is a play button, so it starts, you're telling it to run, to begin. Okay, so now we've got a grey background. 220 is the amount of white there is, so it's not fully white, and this is 800 wide by 800 high. That's the number of pixels, that's the size of that canvas. So if I want to change the size, so it depends on what computer you got, a laptop or tablet. So let's make it 400 by 900 and see what happens there. So we've got very tall, so it's 400 wide by 900 high. So I'm going to put it back to 800, and you have a play around with that, find one that fits neatly onto your screen. So this fits nice and neatly. Press play, and we've got a nice little canvas. The background is like a light grey. So first of all, before we do anything else, let's just play around with these colours. So if I put 255, which is the maximum, it will give me a completely white background. I don't know whether you can still see that, but it's the same size, pardon me, same size, and it's now completely white. If I put 0 and press play, it's completely black. So anything in between is like a grayscale. So I tend to by default use 220, so at least has some background color, but neither completely white or completely black. But you can actually have any color you like with a mixture of anyway, well, I'll talk about that later. So next we're going to draw. We want to draw on this canvas. So we put a something called function draw. Now this is a loop. So function setup here just happens once. You're setting up your canvas, you're setting up your background, so that background usually stays in the function setup. It doesn't have to, it can be in here. and for some things you'll want it in here, and again, that'll be for another day. But for now, we create the canvas, give it a background colour, and there and now we're going to actually draw something. So we're going to draw a circle, and we're going to tell it where we want it. So we've got an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. So how far from this edge here across, let's put it at 300 pixels. And how far from the top downwards, and that's how it's measured, from the top downwards, 300. And we need to give it a size. So we'll say the diameter is 100 pixels wide. These are all measured in pixels. And we need to close the curly brackets. You need to have, all the code needs to go inside these brackets. Notice how it's highlighted. So if I click on that, it tells you where the corresponding curly brace is. So that is the block of text. It tells the computer, starting to write some code, finish writing some code, starting to write some code. If you miss one out or have too many, it kind of doesn't work. So now we're going to press play. Notice that nothing happened. So we press play, and we have a circle that's 300 that way, 300 down from the top. We can move it. So if we let's put it bang in the middle. So that'll be 400 by 400. Let's press play. Now it's right in the middle. Let's change the size of it. Let's make it really big. Let's make it 300 pixels in diameter. And so on. So you can play with all these. And what happens if, let's go back to 300, you change that to 100, press play, it's gone off the screen. So it is there somewhere over here. So if I make it 500, so not quite as big, you chopped a bit of it off. So that's why it's important that you know what size you want your canvas. It does matter what these dimensions are, and the size of your canvas, and what colour. Okay, so that's lesson 1. I hope you have a go, have a play, and see what else you can do.